to Wine Library TV. I am your host, Gary Vaynerchuk, and this, my friends, is the Thunder Show, aka the internet's most passionate wine program. And as you can see today, the brown bags are out. Ooh, I forgot a paper. Give me 1 second, Mom. I've got to check who actually told me. Yes, let me see here, right on official New York Jets. Paper. Big shout out to Jolie Elman from LA, California, who, what we did a couple weeks ago was I posted in my Facebook fan page on Wine Library TV, what show would you like? And then I would do it, but then I got screwed up on that Monday, and then I was away. So here it is, 3 Mondays after I was supposed to do it, but I wanted to stay true to my commitment. Ma, let's link up the Facebook fan page and that exact, idea from Jolie. I sent you that link. That's the one I said you're gonna need, and you do. Sheiky Baby's in the house, and Jolie wanted a blind tasting. She's getting one. I add a little twist to that. I'm kind of getting a little focused on Pinot Noir in that $25 to $35 range. I need some more experience with it, working on some projects. So I said, Ian, put it together. So all I know is that these are Pinots. I have no idea what part of the world, brands, nothing. I know one's a screw top because I can see it. I don't know what that means. Gonna guess New Zealand or Australia. I mean, this is what you do when you blind taste. Every advantage I can. But another $25 to $30 plays, up to $35 plays. We'll see how they rank. We like the blind shows. It takes out all the preconceived notions. If you want to do blind tastings, they're so much fun as like party plays. I highly recommend them. Do it. So we'll jump into these wines in 1 second. Other than that, Mont, I'm doing well. Let's talk about the Oscars secret pack. The Oscars are this Sunday coming up. Gotta get all this stuff right, Mont. You know, it's not as easy as it looks. Please join us in the secret pack at the Oscars. Mont, link it up, baby. And Mont, you know what? Might be some people that did not catch me last Friday on the Today Show. In case you missed it, I was on the Today Show doing Valentine's Day with the whole gang. So Mont, link it up. This is what we do. We made Mont link it up. 4 links. Pretty good day, and we haven't even started. Let's get into the first wine. Wine number 1. Also stick up. Wine number 1. Mont, zooming in, because I always enjoy this part. This is like the best part of the wine episode. Again, we brought out the big-ass glass, which we haven't seen in a while. And I think we're going to treat. So, Pinot Noir tastings. You know, obviously, let's talk about Pinot. It's really, by so many people's estimation, really hardcore wine connoisseurs, really the greatest grape in the world. You know, I'm a little bit more of a Riesling play. Those two are really the grapes that battle for real supremacy amongst the wine nerd nation. Wine nerd nation, I kind of like that. And so Pinot Noir obviously was kind of under the radar, and people really enjoying great Burgundies and what have you. And then obviously Hollywood had to get involved and ruin it, like they ruin everything else. And so they got involved, and Pinot Noir sales exploded. The whole game changed, and now the price is much higher, and more importantly, it's trendy. And we all know how many people like to leave the trendiness. It's like, oh, everybody was on MySpace, they had to leave and find a new place. So anyway, let's jump into this. It's got great color. Pinot Noir is very thin-skinned grape, which makes it really fickle, very difficult to grow. By far the spoiled kid in your family. But you know how that spoiled kid had a lot of potential, and if you could ever hone that energy in the right direction, you can win, and that's kind of what Pinot does. A grape varietal that shines in many places in the world. Again, when I see the screw top, I think California, Australia, so I'm not thinking old world, cheating a little. Let's give it a sniffy sniff, because that's what we do on the Thunder Show. Let's see what we're getting on the nose. I get a really deep raspberry component coming through on the nose, which I like quite a bit. Little kind of smokiness. I wouldn't call it beef jerky, but I call it a little hint of smokiness coming through on the nose as well, which I like. Let's give it a whirl. Good fruit, little disjointed with the alcohol, big firm tannins, a young Pinot. I'll give it another shot. Good ripeness, really dry. I mean, I wouldn't call it Pucker City, but the tannins are very firm and too sharp in my opinion. The fruit is struggling to shine through. A wine that definitely needs 3 to 5 years cellaring to really go anywhere. It's also completely coated with a bitter green kind of asparagus top component throughout the mouthfeel, which is highly unpleasant, I think, for most people. It is a wine that I think could pair with, a variety of foods, probably duck. But I'll tell you what, on the delicious factor scale, it's a pass. I mean, it is not tasty, and a lot of people are looking for that when they taste Pinot Noir. In my opinion, this does not bring it in any shape or form, so that bothers me. It bothers me a lot, and it's really not that well made to make me believe that, oh my god, this will cellar, it's just a tight vintage. This is a really poor Pinot Noir to start the show. Let me try it one more time. Yeah, I don't like it. The finish is really raw. I mean, it's not awful. It's just not that great either. Gonna make my little notes. We'll unveil in the end. I'm gonna have to guess the prices because another 25 to 35. Let's move on. Two Mott. This is number 2. Yep, thank you. Give me a little. Wine number 2. Ooh, you hear that little sound? A little extra for the kids. Let's do a little rinse. Now, I don't know if you can see it, Mott, right off the bat, much darker in color. So that'll be interesting to see how that segues into what this is all about. Vino number dos. Let's roll it around. Let's give it a snippy sniff. Now, this is starting to get a lot more interesting. Let me roll up my pink sleeve here and get excited. Let me give it one more snippy sniff. Much more intense. Aromatically, this is exploding. I get rose petal for days on the nose, which I like, and definitely a stinky kind of factor. There is definitely a little bit of like a cow poop component on this wine. That's right, cow poop. It has made its presence felt in this wine, and that makes me like it. I like the old world, manure, dirty farm action. It's also rounded with gorgeous strawberries that are just bouncing and now almost like perfume-like strawberries that is starting to take over over the nose. Let me give it one more shot. Yeah, this is much more classic. I really enjoy this nose. Let's give it a whirl. Much bigger. Also very dry. Big, firm tannins. But gorgeous red fruit. Currants, strawberry, a little cherry juice action coming through that I like quite a bit, but it's kind of harsh on the mouth. It's definitely got some tannins, a little burn action, like like you drank a little too much cough medicine. That kind of move, like that kind of move coming through. As a matter of fact, this comes across a little cough syrupy NyQuil cherry action. Let me give it one more shot. Yeah, good firm tannins. This wine's going to last a little while. I'm going to put 7 to 10 years here. I like this Pinot. Not bad at all. Good effort. Not bad. Might be slightly overpriced because I know it's in that range. But not the worst thing I've ever had. Not a bad effort. Definitely a more exciting play than the last one. Wine number 3. Let's see what we go. And both of those are clearly New World wines, by the way. Wine number 3, I'd be, very surprised if they were from anywhere other than Oregon, New Zealand kind of place. I think they're both domestic at this point. Wine number 3. All right, let's see what's going on here. A little bit more of a classic color, cloudy. Still can see my fingers through it. If you can't, they're pouring too much Petite Syrah in there, or they're extracting a little bit too much. But, obviously when I have my Pinot, I want to see my fingers. Pinot Noir goes extremely well with duck and lighter, game and things of that nature. And I'm very, very fond of it. It got way overexposed for a while. It's kind of fun getting back into it because it seems like the phenomenon and the hoopla has finally started to calm down a little bit. This is very light in color. Let's give it a snippy sniff. Very pretty nose. Quite perfume-like as well in this. I also get floral flavors coming through. Candy cherry flavors, just almost like candy more than fruit, whereas the last one was really the fruit. This is almost candy-esque. Let's give it a whirl. Now we're starting to play. Now we're starting to get somewhere. This has great, intense creaminess. The silkiness of this wine alone is worth the price of admission. Great structure, great fruit, very pure and silky. It's almost like, I would almost say like taking cranberries and creaming it up. Taking like cream, fresh cream, pouring it in with cranberries, and just beating the crap out of the cranberries until it became pretty much just good old-fashioned cream with a slight cranberry play. That's what I'm getting here, because I'm getting gorgeous cranberries. I'm getting a little bark action in the back. I wouldn't call it wood. I wouldn't call it oak, but it's just like almost like a stick, little earthiness to it, like shrub on the side of the road. Really interesting wine. Very smooth, and definitely a wine that I would recommend for people that are getting into Pinot Noir or wanting to figure out if they would like it. This is much more friendly style because of the smoothness. You don't get the heat at all. Totally different play. Let me give it one more shot. This is beast. This is really good stuff. I like it a whole lot. I like the flavor in the back end. I like the smoothness. This is a very rich, complex Burgundy that drinks. It's funny, I called it a Burgundy there instead of a Pinot. And that's subtle because that's I guess, subconsciously what I think this is, or it may not be. As a matter of fact, it's got such bright fruit. I think it could be a California play that's really just gone Burgundian, maybe an Anderson Valley play, Russian River play. So, a really good wine. I would definitely think this was a $60, $70 Burgundy, knowing that unless Ian is fooling with me and is trying to clown me on Wine Library TV, which is possible, Mott, but he knows better than that. I really fell in love with this wine. This is by far the best wine here. Again, this would be something you'd want to pair with duck and things of that nature, hen, pigeon, but a wine that I think drinks tremendous today, but has the length and the structure to last 7 to 10 years. I am dying to figure out what that is. Let's move on. Wine number 4. All right, zoom it in, zoom it out. Let's give it a little rinsey rinse. Really interesting. I really wish that all of you could experience the difference between wine number 2 and 3 in that scenario. It is a totally different play. I love the color of this wine. Just gorgeous, classic, very bright. You see it? I mean, just very bright red color. Almost like cinnamon juice, whatever that means. Let's give it a sniffy sniff. This is definitely the most old world on the nose, very rustic. Almost feel like I'm smelling old, rusted out pennies, which is quite kind of neat, little copper action. Red fruit, you know, maybe raspberries, but just kind of dull. The nose is kind of challenged here. This is more AC. This is aromatically challenged. Definitely not my favorite thing I've ever seen. Let's give it a whirl. Not loving this. Has a brutal aftertaste, which can't be good. I feel a really wonderful suppressed watermelon flavor on this wine, which I think is quite fascinating. I'm trying to figure. I mean, I don't know if I've ever referred to a Pinot Noir as watermelon, but I almost get like a watermelon flavor under this like disgusting old auto body. It's like almost like finding like this old junkyard and there's like some melons buried and go find them. That's what I feel like I'm tasting here. It's very disjointed. I feel like I just drank oil and like an engine. I feel like I bit an engine and I'm not happy about it. Let me give it one more shot because it's almost metallic too. I hate this wine. I do not like this wine at all. It's got no guts, no character. It's a complete bomb. I really don't like it. It's really boring, simple, and a complete waste of time and money. Sheiky, baby. Go take care of it. Chic. Oh, what's tougher than chic? Anyway, let's go to the 5th wine. Wine number 5. My favorite number of all time, so we got to start with the fact that this may get slightly a higher rating than it deserves because it is my favorite number. Mott, favorite number?
8.
8. Very nice. Is that your favorite number? 7. 3. That's one of my other favorites. I actually play 3 and 5 in roulette all day long. All right, by far the darkest wine. I mean, not even close. Just completely dark. Again, much darker. I can still see my fingers through it, so I'm happy about that. Let's give it a sniffy sniff. Ooh, I like this. This smells like a forest fire. Like a forest fire, well, with all the unfortunate situations in Australia, a forest fire that was small, like a campfire. That's what I want to say. A campfire that's been suppressed, and now it's smoky. After you put it out, there's that smokiness in the air. Maybe you get it in your clothes when you come back, you're around fire, and you come back home, and you're like, oh my God, I didn't smell that before. But in this setting, it is so smoky. Yes, that's what this smells like. This is an absolute smoke storm of a wine. Smell this, man. I mean, this is dramatically smoky. Very smoky. Kirsch Royale cherries coming through as well. What are those? Marchand? What do they call them?
Maraschino?
Maraschino cherry kind of thing. Do you get that? Like almost like, did you get the smokiness?
I got the cherry more than the smoke.
Really? To me, this is like screaming Smoke City, USA. Ooh, a lot. Very smoky. And I'm liking it. I'm liking the different characteristic of it. It's intense. Let's see what happens on the palate. Very New World. Wow, this is a bomb. Wow. Almost like, what's those Ludemans, or what are those cough drops? Those like red cherry cough drops that used to eat that were the best. We've been through this path before. Somebody leave it in the comments. I get,
No, those are the cookies.
if you reduce that little cough drop down, you get that. This is very extracted. This is by far the biggest wine. I would not be shocked. Let's make a note. Alcohol content. Let's check the alcohol content. I would guess that this is the biggest one, though those first two were hotter on the palate than this is, because this, my friends, is surrounded with obnoxious fruit. The flavors of fruit are just bouncing. I feel like I'm drinking cherry punch. I feel like the Kool-Aid man just broke through my office and was like, what up? I mean, that's what's going on in my palate right now. Let me give it one more shot. New World Fruit Bomb. Much more than the first two. The middle two went Old World. This is going Extreme New World. Let me give it one more shot. You know, I can't deny the intensity and the fruit factor, though it's not Old World. I like it a lot, and so let's do this. Let's form it up. Let's see what's going on. And here, my friends, is the way it broke down in order. So who won? Wine number 3 came in first. Wine number 5 in second, and then the other guys. So anyway, let's unveil them and let's talk about them a little bit more. In last place, with a score, oops, I'm sorry. You're wondering?
I was wondering.
In last place, with a score of a 55, one of the lowest scores I've ever given on Wine Library TV history is, I think it's an Old World play. I'm gonna say that this is from somewhere kind of, maybe even Hungary. I think it's gonna come from a non-traditional place. I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm not looking forward to this moment. Wow. Louis Jadot, Nuit Saint George from Burgundy, 2006. Never would have guessed it. $35, 87 to 89 points, Alan Meadows. So I'm only 32 points lower than Alan Meadows. I totally disagree with Alan, who, as many of you hardcore Maniacs know, I'm a huge fan of. I feel like he completely missed the boat on this. I think this is a piece of junk. I'm a big fan of Jadot in general as a house, but I don't see it. I was really disappointed with this 06 vintage, so it might have been too young for my palate. Didn't show well. I'm very down on it. I'm not going to make any more apologies. You saw what I saw, what I thought. And Meadows is a tough critic. An 87, 89 Meadows is really like a 91, 92 from the other guys. Very interesting. Very interesting. I have so much respect from Alan that I'm going to probably retaste this wine. Probably retaste it in a little bit, but I totally disagree. Let's move on. In second to last place, wine number 1. I gave this an 80. Thought this was a New World play. See what's going on. And it's from Oregon. The Monte Bruno 2006 Willamette Pinot Noir, $37 US. I did not like it that much. I thought it's well overpriced and at $37. I'm completely devastated, have no interest, and I would walk away from it like it's got the heebie-jeebies. And so 37 bones, major pass. Oregon, great place for Pinot Noir, but not this time. In third place, with a score of 89 plus points. It was right there. Really nice wine. Also New World play, in my opinion. Wine number 2. Maybe from down under a little bit. Mount difficulty. Yep, from New Zealand. $27 US. 92 points. And M. I'm not even sure who the critic is that gave it 92 points. I'll double check that. But 92 points, 27 US bones. Not bad. I liked it. Again, I would not recommend it. I would definitely stay away from it if I were you. I just think there's other wines, like these next two. Wine number 5. I'm going to tell you something right now. If you're a big Shiraz fan or a big Cabernet fan, like the big wines, the big boys, the big fruit, the big excitement, instead of popping some Chris in the back of the limo, pop this wine. A little more refined, but it's going to bring serious thunder. I went 91 plus points on this, and you know, it was a big bomb of a wine. I liked it. Let's see what it is. Huh. From Chile. No kidding. Amayama. A-M-A-Y-M-A. No kidding. A Chilean Pinot, 2006 vintage, 24 US dollars from the Leyda Valley, L-E-Y-D-A. Guys, start paying attention to this area. This, you know, we've been talking about Chile as a Pinot Noir Sauvignon Blanc play. I've been saying that for 3 years. Let's get right into it. This is a major episode. This is an episode where I'm going to tell you what's going to be cool in 2009. And what's going to be cool in 2009 is Chilean Pinot Noir. Most people don't think of Sauvignon Blanc and Pinot when they think about Chile. I'm telling you, that is going to be the varietals this country is known for. And after tasting this, within the competition of its price point, by the way, hold on, 37, 35, 27, 24, the least expensive. And so far, this, well, the winner up to this moment, this wine completely blew my face off. 93 plus points. Loved it. I think absolutely every single person who's into Pinot Noir should go out and find this, write it down, text yourself, find it at a restaurant, go online, find it somewhere, go to winezap.com, do whatever you do, go to your local store, make them order it for you. This wine kicks serious A. There's kids watching. Sojourn. 2006 Pinot Noir from California. Let's go, baby. Where's Iron Chic? USA! USA! Unbelievable! The Cali Pinot, and Ian did a good job. He did it from totally different places. Oregon. The Cali Pinot wins it. Sojourn 06 Sonoma Coast Pinot Noir, 33 US dollars. It is a 94-point Pinot Report scored wine. Obviously, the Pinot Report and I are in the same place. I went 93 points, 33 bones. You know, in that price point, $33 is far from inexpensive, but no doubt about it, the best wine, in my opinion, bar none, crushed it. Let's see what's going on here. 3 vineyards, 6 clones make up the 06 Pinot Noir. Clone 115, which is very famous, N77 from San Giacomo, which is an amazing vineyard site. Roberts Road, 115, 777, 667 from Windsor Oaks. How many cases? No, it doesn't say. Unbelievable. 7, Mott, do it right here. Let's call Sojourn. Maniacs, call Sojourn, get on their mailing list, because if they're pumping out this kind of wine, it's not going to be available on retail for a long time. You're not going to be able to find it. Get on the mailing list now. I'm not sure if they kick you off if you don't buy. You want to be on it, because I think when this gets really discovered, because the Pinot Report, great little thing, but most people don't follow it. I'm blown away by this effort. Mott, let's put it up here. 707-933-9753. Call them and tell them you want to be on the mailing list. That's it. Got nothing else. I was going to say something else, but I'm going G-rated. Great show. Very interesting for me to see all the different wines from the world. Pinot Noir, Burgundy getting blasted, which is pretty damn fun because I am a fan of Burgundy wines. Blind tasting. Chile comes in a close second. And, $9 a bottle less. Very close QPR play. Question of the day. You know what? I'm focused on this Chile aspect. Question of the day. What's the best wine you've ever had from Chile? And tell me if you like the blind tasting format. I'd love to know. Hope you enjoyed the show. Oscar Secret Pack. Get on that. We're going to have a great time Oscar night. You'll have friends over. Share some vino. And other than that, I'm feeling good. You, with a little bit of me, we are changing the wine world.